Hey guys, so this is going to be my very raw and alpha type version of the DC weekly series that I'm going to do, or DC Universe Online Weekly, something weekly. Haven't really come up with a name. If anyone wants to suggest a good name, or maybe just agree with DC Universe Weekly, then I'll do that. But yeah, if you want to suggest a name, throw it in the comments, because I think DC Universe Weekly is kind of boring, but you know, it's probably the most self-explanatory. And the reason I say it's going to be pretty raw is that there's not too much information right now, because I already covered the big, huge update that's going to happen for February, so I didn't really have much to do, but I just wanted to throw a video out to sort of actually check the upload time that it would take on YouTube, and also just to sort of show how I plan to sort of work it. Now, because the game's only been out a month, there's not an insane amount of content in the forums that is important, bar some which is like, QQ this, QQ that, or I love this game, or this game's better than WoW, or I hate this, or this game sucks, I'm quitting. Most of it's just threads that are getting locked repeatedly because they're just the same threads repeated over and over again. That being said, there are some pretty good stuff on there, or there is some pretty good stuff, so I'll just go straight into it here. And actually, before I do, which totally destroys the fact that I said I was going to go straight into it, if you have any comments of any sections you would like added, assuming I think I still have to keep it under the 15-minute mark. I believe YouTube still has that rule for non-partners, but if you have any comments and you want a segment added, like maybe a bio, so you want something that'll be a character maybe a week, and I'll quickly do like a minute on that character and let people know what it is in case they don't know, or you know, things like that. If you see a section that I should have but I don't, throw me a comment. I'll probably put it in, unless it's something stupid like I want to look at naked pictures of people for a minute and stuff like that, and I'm probably not going to do that. So I probably shouldn't even brought that up. Basically, let's go into it now. So the first thing that's really big is the DC Universe Online Legends comic. Was released on February 2nd. Essentially, the Legends comic is going to be a 26-part series that's going to be spanning over a bi-weekly issue. So there's 26 issues. It's going to be around 52 weeks before they're all released, unless they change anything. And the idea of this comic is it's going to fill in the storyline that happens before the primary trailer, where you see Lex Luthor kill Superman and all the heroes dying and most of the villains dying and all that crap, which is a cool way of doing it, just because a lot of DC fans like comics, do the story in a comic, two birds with one stone there. And also the artists still get a job to do. The first one is basically Lex Luthor teaming or making a deal with Brainiac to try and take down Superman, and it's all going to spiral up or down from there depending on which side you're on. The issues are all color. The first one is 32 pages. I imagine they will all be around that, and then it's $2.99 US, which is a fairly reasonable price point. You can get it every 2 weeks, and you won't be breaking the bank too much, just over $6. So yeah, I think that's a cool idea. If anyone wants to check that out, I'm going to have a linky thingy in the Great. Yeah, I'm going to have a link in the info section of YouTube. For those that were actually interested in the legendary pricing, where you would get the 3 months for $29.99, that has gone live as of February 8th. So if you want to do that, you can definitely go onto your subscription on the account, switch it up if you want those 3 months, or you will also probably be getting an email about it. You can do it straight from the email. You'll get your 3-month price for $29.99 as long as you play the game. That being said, if you're still in your 3-month period, which everyone should be for another couple of days, and you haven't decided if you want to carry on with the game yet or just go into a 1-month subscription, if you are out of your 3-month period, so you're getting billed for whatever you had it set up for, so a normal 1 month, a normal 3-month, you can still get this plan as long as it's before March the 1st. However, you will have to pay for whatever your previous subscription was. So if you have ended your 3-month and you were going to do the $14.99 1-month subscription, you will pay for that 1 month. That 1 month will finish, and then you will be put on the 3-month exclusive deal, and it'll just be like if you got it earlier, so it's going to keep going. But yeah, that's something that's pretty interesting for those that want to save money there. The one thing with it, and this is a thing that's causing a lot of problems on the forums right now actually, is the Australians. Not the Australians as a people, but the Australian paying. So, in a sense, basically the Australians are getting kind of ripped off, as far as anyone can tell right now, in the sense that the Australian dollar is actually, I think it's ahead of the American dollar right now, if not the same, depending on when this is released. But in sense, say the Australians are paying $20, it's actually $19.99 per month if they want the game, and the US is $14.99 per month, so there's a $5 more per month basically. And if they go for the 3-month deal, instead of paying $29.99, they pay $39.95 every 3 months. And this is just one post that I chose because a lot of them are already locked, and this one's still here, or it was when I took the screenshot. And a lot of people aren't really worried about they're actually paying it. Like, a lot of people seem they're perfectly fine with paying the extra money, but there's been no justification on why they're paying it. They just want to know, oh, are we paying it because we have, like, Sony have to pay our internet providers, or Sony has to pay to use the line that comes into Australia. They don't really confirm why. As soon as that's confirmed, probably there'll be a lot of more happy people. Obviously they'd like to pay less, but if Sony is actually having to pay somebody else to even get the game to them, then that probably won't be changing anytime soon. I think they said they're not thinking of changing the prices. But for those Australians, if anyone actually is Australian and watches this, I feel for you. Originally I'm from England, moved to Canada, and we would have our stuff in England, and I'm sure people from England might watch this. Things like 3DS, which is coming out, say it's like $250 in the States, it's like £250 in England, even at the point where our pound was, say, $2 to £1, we were paying double the price for things. PSP, $250 or $299 in the States, and I think I got mine in England for around like £250, so I was pretty much paying nearly double the amount. So I can understand why you'd be annoyed at that. Also, what we have going on right now is, for those that weren't aware, there's a lot of glitching in the PvP right now. It's called animation glitching, and I'm not going to go into how you do it, purely because that would piss a lot of people off, and it pisses me off when I'm doing PvP. And oh yeah, for those that aren't aware, I'm probably going to have not PG language at some point in this. If something pisses me off, I'll probably swear. So that said, I'll continue. Yeah, I mean, basically what it is it's when you do an attack, the attack doesn't actually produce the damage, the animation produces the damage. So for attacks that take longer, maybe 3 or 4 seconds, it's your animation that is actually making that damage happen to the enemy. So in sense, what you've been able to do right now in PvP, PvE, and everything, but it's mainly prominent in PvP, is you can use, say, special combos of abilities, which will cancel the animation of the first attack going straight into the second one, and then you can keep looping them. In a sense, you can get like these huge combos, which should take 30 or 40 seconds to do. You can do them in 1 or 2 seconds, and all of the damage still goes through. So you can take someone from 100% to, say, 0 in like 3 seconds. It's really annoying. There's a lot of posts on it. There is one from Radar X. For those who don't know, Radar X is your ghost crawler of the forums. He's the main guy as far as I can tell. He seems to be posting the most. And he's community relations, so you're going to see a lot of him. For those that don't know, Ghostcrawler is like the main guy on the World of Warcraft forums. He's pretty much, everyone knows him, and whenever he says anything, it'll be quoted in like 100 other forums for people, proving points and crap like that. Basically, this is from another post, because there's so many posts, and the original one is locked essentially. It's removed. They're basically just saying that, they understand, obviously they want to increase the communication flow because there have been some major issues addressed. The main part in this is they've obviously fixed some, for those that weren't aware, there was chat bugs, which were like you couldn't press enter, it wouldn't always go into your chat mode. You couldn't use league chat, group chat. As far as I'm aware, all of those have been fixed. My league chat was working, my normal enter button to go into chat has been working. Group chat has been a bit on and off. Sometimes it's still not working when I'm in a random group, sometimes it's working when I'm in an organized group, but that'll probably be ironed out pretty fast. They're saying they've pretty much fixed that, but the animation glitching is going to be resolved in an upcoming patch, and beyond that all they can do is point you towards the patch notes. So that means they know about the animation glitching. It's going to be fixed in a future patch, maybe the February 15th patch for Catwoman content, maybe one after that, but it's going to be addressed. They're going to get rid of it. For those that were thinking about not PvPing until that's done, it's going to happen, and I'll keep you guys updated on that when that patch does get sort of live and they have links on it. And this is all confirmed by Radar X. This is from another post, like I said, the original article, but he also posted in this one as well. For those that aren't aware, there is what's called the SOE Blue tracker, and it's basically to track all of the mods and the announcements. So I'll post a link for it in the info section, but basically it's where they announce all the patch notes and what's happening. They might not be immediate, so I might be able to get the information on my channel before they put it on the tracker, just because they have to type it up and do all that crap. And I think the information they have on the tracker was like 4 days behind what I actually had already said about the February content. So what I'm going to do now is basically a tip of the week, and this is for people who maybe haven't used the bank at all in the game, because I know a lot of people haven't used the bank in the game. But essentially what it is let me go to my character here, is we have the bank. So what you do is you're in your main bank. That's obviously, you can put things in there, take things out. It's pretty big. What there's also a button for is a shared bank. So it's only 4 slots, but what you can do is throw an item in your shared bank, right? So you've got that in there. You can put anything in there that isn't like binded to your character personally. And then what you can do after that is you can log on to another character as long as you're in a bank. This is my level 4 who I'm leveling right now, who's a healing character. I can switch to his shared bank, pull the item out, and then use it on that. So for those that don't use the bank or haven't checked it out, it's an awesome feature. Games like Guild Wars have had it. WoW doesn't have it that great. They have bind on equips, but basically what you can do is just share bank things. So you can just throw it in your shared bank and pull it out. You don't have to send a mail or anything like that, and it's really simple. Pretty worthwhile doing if you haven't taken a look at it before. So that's really all the content I actually have for this video. I just wanted to sort of see, what I could get in, how long it would take to upload, and essentially what I have available to me. Next week's and the weeks after, things like that, they'll have a lot more content. I'll have more time to take a look at it. But like I said, this is a trial run, so I just want people to post comments on what segments they would like added. I understand that obviously there was a bit lacking in this one, but if you post a comment, I will look at it. I will maybe add that section, assuming it's not stupid, and yeah, I'll just go on from there. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys.